Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Westworld. This episode 6 of the second season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, this is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So last episode I really enjoyed it because we did get more of, obviously, Maeve, Hector, and Lee. Now the interesting thing is, we've seen Maeve try to use her new powers before, and it's worked when she's been inside the facility. You know, she's told them when he was coming in to actually try and shoot all of the humans that she was like, no, he's not actually the enemy, they're out there, and obviously diverted them away. So it's shown that she could have power over people. And last episode, you know, we've seen it come into fruition big time. Now we've seen it a couple of times this season so far where she's tried to use it and it's not actually words. She said she tried to speak it to the people that was coming to her when she was stood in the water, and that didn't work. And then she tried to do it to the samurais at the start of this episode, and again it didn't work. Now the interesting thing is, you know, Lee was end up saying to her, look mate, you know, I think what's happening inside of the park is having a ripple effect across everybody. And usually when you come to these locations, whether you know staying in your English environment or you venturing over into the samurais and the Japanese, as soon as you start speaking a language, they should be coded to be able to respond and understand, but that's not happening. So while she's speaking in English, it's coming out as English to them, when realistically in the real world, she'd speak English, but they'd hear it in Japanese, or they'd hear it in English and they'd understand it pretty much. And that is, it literally, it makes sense now. So like the reason why she was speaking to them when he was in the lake and it didn't work, and the reason he's speaking to him here and it didn't work, is because the language barrier is obviously not clicking, and that is why they can't understand what she's trying to say. Now, the interesting thing is, they've gone to a little village, and they've already created another alternate person of Hector, of Maeve, into this town, and the same thing was playing out. You know, they rolled in, killed the guards, you know, went in, started robbing the shop. Instead of using guns, he was using arrows, he was using swords. It was very interesting. But then Shogun turned up, and that is somebody who demanded that he wanted one of the girls from pretty much Maeve's bar, pretty much. Now, obviously, they rejected this. He said it's not going to happen, and he ended up killing, like, the informant who come and actually asked for her. Now, they knew that that was bad news, and they was going to attack. So at the night time, all these ninjas turned up, and it was a big scrap, big fight, you know, stabbing all over the place. Hector had his guns out. Maeve looked like she was on her last leg. She was getting strangled and she was about to get killed before she controlled somebody with her mind. Yes, that is right, mate. She controlled somebody to stop killing her, turn around and smash his head on a spike and kill himself, which is absolutely crazy. Now, it turns out that this girl has been taken, who he was trying to defend, and obviously the rest of the episode, they went after her. They ended up turning up into a village. He was trying to pose as somebody else, but he obviously knew that a witch was around, and he made sure that all of his, you know, army cut off all their ears so that, you know, that Maeve couldn't take control of them, but they don't know that she can mind control now. Craziness. So he's ended up going there. He's killed one of the girls. He's got the other one to dance for him. She's ended up stabbing him and killing him. Everybody's just erupted in all chaos, and when it looked like Maeve was about to be killed again, she just controlled hundreds of them. Not literally one, hundreds. Turned them all on each other. They all started stabbing, killing, and it was crazy, mate. And now she's not even running. She stood there. She's buzzing about her new powers, and she can't wait to use them. So I think that Maeve storyline is crazy. She's so overpowered. It's mad, and I loved it. But now in today's episode, my wish is to see more of Emily, see more of the Man in Black, and see them reunite. Obviously, father and daughter, that's going to be good. And we had a bit of Dolores and Teddy as well. You know, Dolores ended up killing Teddy. She was saying that, you know, she's been thinking, is he fully committed on her side? She doesn't know if she's still being controlled by the programming. So she's decided to kill him, shut him down, and reboot him, even at the cost of him maybe not coming back alive again, just because obviously doing a factory reset doesn't always necessarily work. But it's interesting that she's took that, obviously, choice to do that. And I'm going to be excited to see, actually, what Teddy's like when he like, regens, if he's going to have the same feelings that he did for Dolores when, you know, prior to her doing this stream. So it's exciting. Can't wait to see what we've got in store for us. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into episode 6 of season 2 of Westworld.
Why on earth would you ever be frightened of me?
You're growing, learning so quickly. I'm frightened of what you might become. If you outgrow this place, outgrow us, what would become of you? I'm not sure if it's my choice to make.
He didn't say that.
What?
He said, I'm not sure what choice to make.
I don't understand, Dolores. Is this some kind of improvisation.
Freeze all motor functions.
I like how those roles have just been reversed.
This is a test. One we've done countless times.
What are you testing for?
Fidelity.
Ooh, did we do that? Fidelity. Oh, we've done that with Delos, didn't we? We always go back to this can. I'm assuming it's Teddy now. Oh no, he's not picked it up. I want to see if his personality's changed.
The day's wasting. Thought you wanted to ride at sunup.
Let's get on with it.
How many times do you think you stepped off that train?
The man who rode that train was built weak. You fixed him.
Nah, he's holding a grudge, mate. He's remembering that she killed him. He's gonna do something.
Did he tell you where my father will be?
Hale didn't mention specifics. I know it's the Mesa, but the Mesa is fucking huge. She didn't fucking tell me anything, man. She's the fucking boss. She can take him places that we don't even have access to.
Oh, look at him, mate. He's just off the rails now.
Let's go.
Where the fuck have you been?
What timeline's this one? Oh, okay, so this is just after they've taken Abernathy.
Tell me. I apparently know very little about what's really in this place.
You really think that Delos is gonna keep hundreds of guests in danger while they wait for one control unit worth of data?
Oh, look at that. You're catching up.
I'm interested to see, though, how they go from this position here, being in a strength, to a position of losing him.
Someone who needs to stay put. I don't want to fuck with his head. I just want to keep him off his feet.
Oh, imagine being nailed down to a chair.
You're about to get your deep and dreamless slumber.
See, that's really interesting because, like I was just saying there, you know, currently these are in a position of power. They've got him there, they've got the facility, they've got the manpower. Do you know what I mean? He's nailed to a chair. Getting out of that is going to be really hard, painful, and yeah, it's going to be difficult. It's not that simple to just go and pull their nails out. It's going to have some sort of force. Do you know what I mean? So the fact is, they've got the facility, they've got the man and women power. Do you know what I mean? They've squadded up. They call for reinforcements as well. How do they go from having the asset with all these people around them to guard them in their own facility to losing them? Do you know what I mean? It's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. Oh, what's she doing? Wow, why is she taking a heart? What's going on? That makeup on her hand looks good though. It looks well dark. She's so good, she's so strong.
おやつらの処刑に立ち会いに戻ってきたのか。それとも俺と取引をしに来たとか。
取引だ。我らが仲間を連れ、この場を去る代わりに。
田中、わしと勝負し、見せかけの組頭ではないことをお主の部下に示したらどうだ。さもなくば、わしから逃れ、首を者の汚名を被るかだ。
Yeah, he just called him out in front of all of his men. He has to take it up now, doesn't he?
武蔵に刀を渡す。
He's dual wielding now. Imagine if he like chops his head, double slide. Right under the arm. Oh, and his arm's off, mate. Oh, they want them to stab themselves, don't they? You see this all the time. Oh, and his head's gone as well. Got dominated. Oh, aye, that was decent, wasn't it, mate? Really liked that. You know, good old scrap. It just makes the episode better, doesn't it? Whether it's a shootout, whether it's a sword fight, you know, who cares? But we've had a couple of them in the last few episodes, and it just keeps it entertaining, keeps it flowing. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes if you're thinking, oh, we're getting a bit too much information here and there, do you know what I mean? We need to pick it up a bit, and then boom, you throw this in, good action. I wouldn't know if you would class that as gore. I wouldn't say it's gore, but, like, it kind of is. You could bracket it. The visuals are really good. You know what I mean? Like with the head cut-offs and the arm being chopped. Then it's really good. They don't shy away from it. Like they don't do the cut and then you just don't see it. You full on see the blade just go right through, kaboom, mate, and the hand coming off. It takes a lot of detail going into it, and you got to respect it. I do like it. It's really, really good. That fight scene was great. it's good that he called him out and he backed it up and he won. Now I'm interested to see where they go. You know, Maeve, she's going to find, well, she's trying to find a daughter, isn't she? But my question is, yeah, we've seen it before when Clementine has been taken out of the, you know, the bar that she's working in, and a new Clementine has been put in there. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, Maeve's not been there in her storyline for ages, so who's to say that that kid's not already got a mum? Because Lee keeps saying to her all the time, look, mate, she's part of a storyline. Who's to say that she's not going to go over there, mate, thinking that she could just whisk her away? And she's already got parents already established in that storyline. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be interesting to see that one.
You really want to take your daughter through here? She don't look much sturdier than my own little girl.
You know, looks can be deceiving, Lawrence. You really gunning for me this hard?
Made my own daughter into a host.
You can change the rules all you want. I'm still going to play the game my way.
Those aren't real Ghost Nation arrows. Your men are looting a honeypot.
Oh.
All right, not even real Ghost Nation is setting them up. That was a good shot from there, I want it. Good distance shooting that. Got facilities all over the place, haven't there? These entrances left, right and centre.
Why would they waste the welcome team? These guys aren't a threat.
You never know though, do you? The welcome team was Angela and now she's in the park dominating with Dolores.
See what other damage these clans have done. Come look at this.
Yo, that's sick.
Interfaced with nearly every discrete system in the entire park in the last 7 days. Every time these idiots upload a new hack, it's responding in like a totally different way.
Can you see the source code that's generating the response?
I can only see the messages, not the messenger.
You have to do it in person.
Right, so he's just saying you got to do it in person. So they've just said that QA coming in and they're putting in all these codes to try and obviously stop all of this that's spreading. They're trying to obviously attack it and you know, put a lid on it, but it keeps fighting back itself. Now she just said the cradle, that's what I think that's what she called it, and then referenced some sort of like server database. So is that like, do you know what I mean? Like I've worked in companies before where like once a week you go into like the big massive server room and you put like a memory card in, and do you know what I mean, you save all the data. It's like a system backup, and then, you know, there's servers all over the place. It's what's running the facility. Is that what it is? Because she said all the host things was there. So I'm assuming that these are going to be like loads of computer towers all over the place and they go in, it's like a mainframe. But somebody's obviously coded something in there to fight back. So when a QA going in and doing theirs, someone smart somewhere, somehow, has got a superior code that can challenge and fight it back manually. As soon as it's input, boom, countered straight away. Now, who's actually doing that? Because if we think back to last season, when Maeve wanted to get her input data changed when she was on that little tablet and he was flicking through it, they said, mate, you know, somebody called Arnold has already started adjusting all of the traits. And, you know, as far as we know, Arnold's been dead for ages. So how has that actually happened? Unless I misread this little bit of information on in that aspect, you know, I don't think I've ever been told, or I can't remember anyway, because we did acknowledge it. You know, my question was all season, how's she keep waking up? Like literally, she gets put in sleep mode, how's she waking up? And then we was told that it was Arnold that messed with her code that turned that feature off. But how? Who was Arnold? Yeah, okay, we got told who Arnold was in the backstory, Bernard and all that. But like, Arnold's dead, innit? So like, who is that who's actually been doing it? Again, that's an interesting one. I can't wait to find more information about that. I'm not getting my hands dirty, you do it. Wonder where that leads though, that's a question. Proper random that, innit? Took the heart out of her and brought her all the way to this place and now burning it. When they use their own words against them, do you know what I mean? You can't counter it. Alright, is she going with them? That's going to be interesting. If she does, I want her to become part of the main thing again. I just like it, new characters being introduced.
Take the edge off.
You don't drink out in the real world. Well, glad to see you can still tell the difference.
Give it to me. Though you're done with me. And the family business.
That's exactly what I said to Charlotte Hale when she called with the gala invite. And then I thought, why pass up the trip? Then all hell broke loose, and I ended up in the one place I wanted to avoid.
And you made it all the way to me with barely a scratch.
I never got Mom's reactions to you because I spent so many years buying your good guy act. She was the only one who saw through it, and she paid for that. But I shouldn't have said her death was your fault. But you don't get to make that our final score. Instead, you're gonna come home with me. I'm not gonna let you stay here now and go out in some bullshit blaze of glory.
If I head with you to the beach, let this place finish burning behind us, that means you and I are even.
It'll be a good start.
Then I guess we'll start walking at sunup.
Interesting that, innit? Got to start somewhere, haven't you? Oh, is he left her? Yeah, she's got nothing.
It's creepy.
So what's right? It is like a big made frame.
Every single one of them is in here, alive.
You know that thing actually, this red thing? Is that, do you reckon that's a conscious mind of another host?
How the fuck are you doing this?
I know how to find out.
How?
Put me inside.
Burning into his head though, look at that. See, his chip's different. You see the ones that they've been extracting from the other people, they're like the like white things, you're kinda like these. It's mad, isn't it? Like, what's this? Is he like the first Teddy? See, right, what I want to know is who's visually looking at that image there. Is that Bernard remembering? But if it is Bernard remembering, how's he remembering? Because he's got no power. You know what I mean? Like, who's watching this vision? When they dropped that little ball thing into that machine, is it Elsie that's watching it? I don't know. But also, it's getting me thinking that obviously, like, she was mentioning like old machines and chips, and like the extractions that we've been doing from the schools look similar to what his has been dropped into, but it's totally different in it. Theirs is like this big white thing that they're pulling out of the heads, and his was like a little ball. And we have seen that in that facility that he's been in, and we've referenced it a couple of times where he's having his flashbacks. He's picked one up and dropped it in his pocket, and maybe, and I'm pretty sure when he went down there, he said that he feels like he's been there before. And I feel like he's gone into that facility, created that ball, told them all to self-destruct. They've all killed themselves. He's then gone back into this facility, gone down and infiltrated that code into the system. And then it's Arnold with this chip thing that's going around and that's impacting everybody. That's doing to Maeve. That's going against the system. That's what I'm calling anyway. But I could be miles off. But you know what I mean? I'm just going to run with it so far.
Play with those shoots. Cut away and toss it over the goddamn side.
Hale's been expecting you.
Yeah, no shit. Engels! Yes, sir. I want this station hot and ready in fucking 50. You need anything local, talk to Ashley. Jesus, to Ashley here.
Got it!
Remember, he's still got that, like, walkie-talkie thing that he found.
I need to do this alone. You can wait for me here. But let me bring her back.
I don't understand why she's going on her own, though, because, like, we've seen there's loads of people around. There still could be bad people over there. Mate, she's getting her hopes up, innit? Literally, she's getting her hopes well up.
Hello there. What's her name?
Anna. Hello? Mama!
I knew it. I said it, didn't I? Clementine is a perfect example. How's she going to react now? I knew it again. I said it. I got two things right here in this situation. She come alone and look, they've come in to attack.
Diopo, Chaku Kilio Kishia, Maogna Hippie Hetcha.
Wan cookie wakashi chata. Makoche ya kiaye.
We have to help them.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm calling for help.
This Felix likes me, doesn't he?
You're welcome, by the way.
One of the last things my daddy told me was I should run from this place.
I never thought I'd want to leave, but I suppose you fixed that too.
He keeps throwing little digs in here and there, doesn't he? He doesn't seem happy.
That's the last of my mercy.
Yeah, I'm not being funny, right? But the guy can easily smash one of those windows and get out. He's even got a gun with a bullet. He can shoot the lock.
There isn't a problem. Did you shut off the killer robots?
Well, no. The system...
Goldberg, get in there. Hack the biometrics, find me a back door.
Fuck yeah. We got the map back.
The train's coming to them. Is that what it is? Right, so they're sending that one in first to blow it up. That guy could have easily got out of that before that happened. So it's Bernard that is actually seeing stuff, but he hasn't got a conscious mind because it's been taken out, so I think that's really weird. It's like the opening segment when, like I said, Teddy turned up to the park. Looks like Ford over there on that piano. Oh, it is Ford.
Hello, old friend.
I knew it. I knew it was Ford. It's interesting that. Oh, it's ended. That's really interesting, to be honest. Our Ford's there. Now, again, this is obviously inside of Bernard's mind, but what interests me is, I've said it a couple of times, is that, you know, his thing's been taken out, so you would think that he's not active at all, and that I know that it's been dropped into that machine, so obviously it must some sort of tick. You know what I mean? Like, that he's still alive and he can remember, and we're going deep into it. Now, is this a memory that they've had from the past, or is it somehow, some way, you know, Ford's obviously implemented himself into a chip and he can access, I don't know, previous data that he's not seen before? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how it's going to work, but I do think it's really interesting. Like I said, I feel like Bernard has played a key factor into what's actually happening with all of these hosts. I go back to the Maeve situation of last season when she was waking and somebody'd already altered the code. We still don't know. I don't know who's done that, and I feel like Bernard could be a key factor in that. We've seen that little red ball that he's got in. He's obviously been part of that facility, took it, he keeps putting it in his pocket. We haven't seen where he's taken it to. Now, I'm assuming that it's one of these facilities places because it is kind of red. I think it's kind of glowing, like in certain areas that we went in there. And if I recall the conversation that he was having with Elsa earlier on when she was saying, you know, in this place, it's all kind of cold. She said, like, he said something like, can you see where the code's coming from? And she was like, no, I can't. And he's like, well, that's because it has to be accessed manually or like in person. He said something like that. And I wonder if he means like it has to be accessed in person, i.e. what he's doing there right now. Do you know what I mean? That's full on in person, isn't it? It could mean that somebody's in there, like physically, like me sat here now, like typing away and obviously counteracting QA that way. Or it could be that somebody's going in and putting there, just literally taking their mind out. So not the database and not the information that they're extracting from the park and the hosts that they're gathering. It's like somebody physically takes their chip out and drops it in, and that's accessing the server, and that information is the one that's countering them. So I'm excited to see what it is. Also, I think it's been good this episode, the fact that we haven't dabbled around in just one single storyline. Like in this whole episode, we've had a bit of Teddy and a bit of Dolores. They seem like they got a bit of friction going. He seems like he's a bit resentful from what happened last episode. You know what I mean? The train's gone into the facility. We've obviously had a bit of Hale and a bit of the squad that's come in to obviously try and extract Abernathy, so that was decent as well. We got more of the progression of the storyline with Maeve and obviously the daughter and her powers, and you know, we still had well, we had to tie into the last episode as well when that little walkie-talkie / phone was found, and he's used it to call in for help as well, so that was good. More of the storyline between Emily and William, we progressed with that. They had a little bit of heart-to-heart and then he left her. So, you know what I mean? Like, instead of us jumping into just one storyline in episode, we've expanded it and we've gone into everything, and I think it's good. It flowed perfect, and we had a couple of fight scenes, so I thought it was decent, and I wish we had this flow kind of more often moving forward. Okay, so that's going to wrap up today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash like, it really helps out. So very interesting stuff that's going on. You know, we're still, well, we're kind of getting little hints actually how Abernathy has actually been taken from this facility. I was saying before earlier on in the episode when he first got taken in, that he was obviously nailed to the chair, and it's like, mate, that's going to be hard to get him out of there. And considering this is a proper manned up place as well, there's lots of people there, lots of weapons. You know, they know the facilities. Dolores doesn't. Well, she might actually know it, but you know, it's not their home turf, if that makes sense. And also they called in for backup, which has arrived, and they're taking a bit of a mick out of Stubbs as well, saying that he's not doing a good job. Well, I'll tell you what, you know, she's come in, she's hit you with a train. It looks like on paper that she's coming with a limited bit of resources and actually extracted him, because in the present you haven't got Abernathy, and I've actually not even seen you guys as well, so she probably kills you. So you're the one that's actually failing. Now, again, what we have to keep remembering is the actual present real timeline is not what we've been watching. It's not. What we've been watching is consistently in the past, and that is, sometimes you forget about that because it becomes so much of the norm, and that's the actual episode. You know what I mean? Like, still, the true present was last episode or the one before, where they were still concerned and looking at Bernard thinking that he knows a bit of information that he's not giving. The one where they said they're extracting 3/4 of the lake that obviously Ford has put into it right now, and they're seeing what information obviously is there and the hosts that have obviously died. You know what I mean? That is the present. Limited resources that we've seen, well, not resources, limited information that we've seen in that present, but we're getting a hell of a lot of backstory leading up to it, which is totally fine. But like I said, we need to remember that the storyline that we're actually watching has already happened. You know, it's not getting us, it's actually happened, and it's showing us how they are right now. So again, it's interesting. Maeve's obviously come. I raised a question, she's going to turn up and the kid's going to be there, great stuff, but Clementine's already had a character replaced inside of the bar. Who's to say that she hasn't? And she did. There was a new mother there, and obviously the little kid acknowledged not obviously Maeve as a mum, as the actual mum. And then I was saying, well, first of all, you know, she wanted to go over there and do it on her own, which I understand. I get it. It's her mission. That's the reason why she's adventured out here. But everywhere you go, there's literally enemies all around, and again, straight away, boom, they've come in, attacked. You know what I mean? And they've had to come in and save them. Now again, she's ran off with the little girl, and we didn't see them get shot. We didn't see anything bad happen to them. They was still on the run when the episode ended. So hopefully we carry on with that next episode as well. Because like I said, her main mission all season has been to get her. Last season as well, you know, that was the reason why she didn't get on the train. She was on it and then she got off because she wanted to go and get her daughter. So we're making it there. But again, like I said, we didn't see fully what happened with them. So I'm excited. Again, I'm really happy that we had a little scrap, a little fight scene. You know, we had the samurais coming in. It was a good, you know, good battle between them. I thought I was going to get a double sword and like cut his head with them both, but no, mate. He went there, he was holding it, he flipped it, chopped his arm off, he stabbed himself, and then whack, head cut off. So madness, mate. Honestly, really, really good. Hopefully we get more little fight scenes. It could be anything. Bit of bow and arrows, bit of shooting, hand-on-hand combat. You just love to see it. Makes episodes way more better. But that's where we currently are. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.